applying a simulated whitewash or lime wash, which we adjusted the color to match the exposures that we found that was probably presenting during the Civil War era. And in this room in particular, it was very gritty and coarse, so we adjusted this simulated lime wash to, we added aggregate to it, so it'll hold a brush stroke and present as it did as to our interpretation. And fortunately, it dries really quickly when we apply it onto a paper, so I have to wet the paper first to get it all on there before it dries, and you sort of get one shot at without it getting lap lines or anything like that. But the end result is a really beautiful model, much like what lime wash or whitewash looks like. It's very soft and it has some modeling going on, so there's tonality to it, and this would have looked very much like it did. Back in the day, they would apply 9 or 10 coats of this, but this synthetic lime wash is actually very, very close in one shot, and I like it because it's light in weight. It's not as caustic as doing the original lime wash, so in applications like this, it's perfect. Otherwise, if we were to do a real lime wash, there would be no recourse going back. It's so caustic that anything you put on it would burn off the paint otherwise. So once you have a lime wash, it's very difficult to go back unless you wait about 50 years. So this is a great alternative to that. The quality of the plastover, I think that sure, painting was an expensive endeavor, and they probably had somebody do it well. And I think, didn't Mr. Weir, actually there's something written in a document that he discusses, how expensive it would be to repair his house after the war. And expensive means he was hiring people who knew how to do it. Back then, painters were expensive. They would mix the color on site. And that's right at the cusp of around 1875. You could get sort of canned paints. It became more available, like ready-made paints. But before then, the guy would come and mix pigments and paint there. He'd be a color man, and he was a decorator, chemist, artist, craftsman, all of those things. So it was expensive to do.